Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your weekend reading for the 5th and 6th of June. So let's see what's coming out. Thank goodness it's the weekend. We have the beautiful Miss Stella here joining us today. It's been some funny energies around. So I say you could be feeling a bit murky with this energy, just a bit like bleh. As I said, that the Four of Wands is coming out. So that we had that yesterday, actually, interestingly, and we'll see where it lands today. Let's pull some cards. So we have the Hermit, some answers. I will put these up because we have Miss Stella here. We have the Hierophant coming in. Here comes the big guns. The Ten of Wands, asking some big questions. Oh, the Empress has come in. So, wow, what an interesting combo of people. There's some really strong energies here. And at the base, we have the Four of Pentacles, and you might feel like you're kind of stuck in the middle of them even. Ultimately, we have the Hierophant in the center, and for me, the Hierophant represents your soul and I feel like what I'm getting with this is that there's a lot of different agendas happening, or a lot of different pulls from all different directions happening. And yeah, you might feel a little bit stuck in the middle of this, to be honest, you know, being pushed and pulled around. Where do you go? And that could feel like a bit of a burden. Really, who do you listen to? What part of this could be parts of yourself? What part do you listen to? What part should you really be heeding its advice? Where you kind of it's just kind of, it could be confusing energy. It's interesting because the cards themselves don't look that confusing, but that's just kind of intuitively what I'm getting. And sitting right at the center, we have the Hierophant, which is your soul, which is around, you know, on a higher level. What is it? Who are you? It's asking this really big question here. Who are you? Why are you here? Just who are you? I keep getting that question. And it is a big question. Like, it's not just, oh, who are you? My name's blah, blah, blah. It's asking it on a soul level. Like, who are you? Why are you here? And it's asking a really, really big question. And it's kind of interesting because we've seen the progression of it during the week. You know, we started in the earth energy where we're kind of in the body, then we moved to the mind yesterday with Aquarius, and now we're moving to the soul, which is, you know, so it's kind of gone big, big, bigger, really opening your perspective as to where you're at, who you are, why you're here, asking all of those big questions. It's kind of really fascinating what's happening. And really, ultimately, what it's doing is asking some very deep questions as to, yeah, where are you and where do you want to go? And there's all this stuff on offer here. You know, we have the Empress. She is ruled by Venus, and we do have a sense that there's, you know, a lot of potential here. There is a lot of potential. There's a lot that could be achieved. There's a lot on offer. But there's also, and the Four of Wands is also around building an identity, building your own identity. So we have, I can't see the Four of Pentacles here, but Stella's sitting in front of it. I know, how silly, hey? But I just want to be able to see the card, sweetheart. So I'm just going to pull it over here just so I can see it. Yeah, so I feel like it's kind of like, oh, too many decisions, too many things happening at once, too many energies. What was underneath it? Lurking and hiding. The Three of Swords. That's what might be feeling a bit murky. There's a murkiness here in that there's a whole heap of different energies pulling you different ways. And it's kind of like, hold on tight, hold on. I don't want to be pulled. It's a sense of, it's sort of like a safety mechanism of when things feel too big, you kind of want to keep the status quo. You want to retain some sort of stability, even if it's not a place that you're particularly happy with at this moment. It's like, but it's my place and I know it at this moment. And so we have lurking underneath the wound, which is why some of you might be feeling a bit yucky, because it's there just under the surface there, under the Four of Pentacles, and you can see it's kind of like, I don't want to open up. I'm holding on really tight because I don't want to see what's underneath, which is this. And then if we dig even deeper, we're going further, we see that there's the Eight of Cups underneath, and that is that there's something that's really deeply not been fulfilling us and we need to walk away from that. And then comes the decision. What do we need to do here? Do we need to make a decision? Is there even a decision to be made? But it is also, with this Two of Swords, it's saying that the information and the knowledge is not necessarily only in your intellect, your mind, your brain, the way you think, the way you communicate. The answer might actually also be highly intuitive. And then we end up with the Page of Cups, which is there's something quite surprising that could come out of this. There could be a surprising offer. So it's kind of interesting. We don't normally go down this little path, and that's why it's an interesting reading, because it feels like the universe is opening you up to a different way or a different method of looking at something, a different process even of kind of seeing the bigger picture. And really it is ultimately what you get from this experience that's coming in here. I don't even know if you'll get a lot of clarity out of this at this moment in time. It's kind of like you're going in, experiencing everything, and this could be played out in terms of feeling like you are quite literally in the middle of a whole heap of other people's agendas. You know, one person says they want to go there, the other person says they want to go do this, and, you know, what do we do? And I think that's, like I said, representative of parts of yourself. And it's not saying one thing is bad or one thing is good. It's not really having any judgment over it. That's the interesting part of this. It's just showing it to you and saying, this is it. This is it. What do you think? And not saying, well, you're holding on to this burden here, you shouldn't be doing that, and blah, blah, you need to find some more answers. I could read it that way, but that's not what I'm getting from this reading intuitively. And I do feel like it's kind of like saying, look, this is where you've held on really tightly to something and you haven't been able to see where you're going. And that's neither good nor bad. We're just showing you that this is what you're doing. And this is where you've really felt a bit lost and isolated and a fear of rejection even, and felt like you needed to find some answers. And did you find them or not? I don't know, but there's a process here of going very deep within and a bit of soul searching as well. And then there's some good stuff. It's like this whole soup of who you are. You know, the Four of Wands, you've built some really great things. You've done some really good stuff. You've built some really good foundations. And the Empress, you know, look at all this potential that you can bring in, or this abundance that you can bring into your life. And then you've got the Hierophant, which is that soul energy, which is kind of saying, look, yeah, opening to a higher understanding, like we said, of like soul and your purpose. Like it's a big question. And so, yeah, exactly. You're just kind of like, whoa, blowing my mind, completely blowing my sense of reality here. What is going on? And it's saying, well, it's just quite literally taking off the filter. It's like sometimes the soul just shows you little snippets that thinks that it wants you to work on, or it shows you little bits that doesn't show you everything at once because it would be too much for us. But it's showing you more than it normally would, which is why it might be a sense of overwhelm, might be a sense of, I don't know what's going on. But I do feel like we'll understand more of what this experience is later, of why this happened. Some of you might get very strong insights coming in. Some of you might get that. But it's really just saying, this is who you are. Take a look at it. This is what we're showing you. And with absolutely no judgment, absolutely none. So we've all done good, we've all done bad, we're all a mixed soup of all these things. And so it's kind of an interesting energy happening here. And whilst you're so open, you can feel vulnerable, you can feel sensitive. And yeah, if we go down these paths of what happened when we went down this different process, it's kind of peeling the onion layers and seeing what else is underneath there. And it can be an uncomfortable process. It can be like, I don't want to go there and I'd prefer not to. Thank you very much. Shut the door. And others of you might go, oh, wow, this is exciting. I've never seen it like this before. Yes, can be confronting. It can be exhilarating. It could be all sorts. You react to it all differently. But ultimately, yeah, what you do with the knowledge is what you do with it. And there's a reason why the soul is presenting you with this expanded view of what's going on for you and who you are as a soul. But I don't know what that reason is, and whether we might find that out. I think that will be revealed at some point. But I would say it's just saying to be open to soul and spirit, open to this experience. So that's it, that's the weekend. And I think that with this kind of energy, there could be a lot of people going around. If you think you're carrying this energy, someone else is carrying it. There could be a lot of potential, like just interpersonal stuff going on where it's like either like, I just want my space. I don't really feel like talking now. Or if someone's stepping over a boundary and you're like, but I need to know what all this is, you can get angry. So I would say be mindful of boundaries as well, because suddenly your boundary of who you are as a human is being totally expanded by the soul. And it's like suddenly there is no boundary around that. We're just in this space. And that's why I think boundaries are going to be an important issue, and that might actually be where we're heading with this further down the track. Okay, that's it. I do think that it's just, more of an internal energy, and you're probably going to need your space with this. That's what I would say at some point. It's going to be, even if you're going around, doing your daily things, maybe you've got a routine on the weekend or whatever happens. It's like this is going to be there, and it's going to be a loud, intuitive voice in your background. It's like the soul's turned the volume level up and suddenly it's loud. But it's like, well, what are you saying? And it's just a feeling. It's not necessarily words. So, but, you might all experience this differently. But that's kind of what it's happening, very, very strong soul connection. So, it doesn't always happen. So make the most of this connection. It's powerful stuff and nothing to be scared of, really. So that's it. That's what I'm getting for the weekend of the 5th and the 6th. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.